Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you are doing fine. Today we will revise about the real number. You have already studied these things in your previous classes. This is an introduction to real number. Real number is the first chapter in your class 10 mathematics. The weightage of this chapter is 6 marks. It is an easy chapter. You can score very good marks in this, provided you know the concept. If you know the basis of mathematics, it is very easy to score marks in mathematics. I got 100% marks in class 10, 100% marks in class 12, high first class in my BSc mathematics, and first class in engineering. So it is not a difficult task to get 100% marks in mathematics. The only thing is you should know the concept, you should know the basics, then it is very easy to score marks in mathematics. Today we will just revise about the various number systems. Few days back, one of my friend's son, he called me and asked, "Sir, I am a little confused about the various number systems. There are even number, prime number, composite number, rational number, irrational number, complex numbers, composite numbers." So I said, there is nothing to worry. You have already studied these things in your previous classes. So today, we will just revise what you have learned till now. The first numbers which you learned is 1, 2, 3, isn't it? These numbers are known as counting numbers. And these counting numbers are also called natural number. Why it is called natural number? Because these numbers comes naturally to us. If you ask a child to count, he or she will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It comes naturally to her. So, the natural numbers are those numbers which are counting numbers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our ancestors, they were happy with these numbers. They thought, okay, 1, 2, 3, this number system will be fine for their business. Then they said, okay, there is something is missing. They were not able to express nothingness, or suppose if you don't want anything, for an example, your mother is giving you some breakfast and she is asking you, okay, do you want more idlis or more puris? You are saying, I don't want more puris or more idlis. So how will you express it mathematically? If you want one idli, you can say 1. If you want 2 puris, you can say 2, I want 2 puris. But if you don't want anything, then how will you express? Then they invented a number known as 0 to show nothingness. I don't want anything. So, in order to represent nothingness, our ancestors invented a number 0. It was around 5,000 years back. So they thought, with the inclusion of this 0, the number system is complete. Then they called it as whole numbers. Why whole number? Because they thought it is complete in all aspects. So the whole number starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything which is on the right hand side of 0 is known as whole numbers. Then they started doing business, selling, buying, all those things. But we know the subtraction. Normally we subtract a smaller number from a bigger number. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. But they encountered a problem in subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number. We know the answer, minus 4. But this number, minus 4, was not there in their number system. So they included all those minus numbers also on the number system. then they call it as integers. All those numbers which are on the left hand side of 0 is known as negative integers, which are on the right hand side of 0 is known as positive integers. Later on they encountered another problem. How can you express fractions like half kg of rice? We know half is equal to 0.5 and half kg comes exactly in between 0 and 1. So, like 1 by 2. So, rational numbers are those numbers which can be expressed in p by q form where q is not equal to 0. Why q cannot be equal to 0? Let us see. 1 by 0. What is the answer? It is undefined. Why it is undefined? Because if you can we write 1 by 0 is equal to 0? If you cross multiply 0 into 0, what will we get? Will we get 1? No. Can we write instead of 1, 0, 1 into 0, again 0? So, that is the reason 1 by 0 is undefined. But what is the answer of 0 by 1? Is 0. Why? Because if you cross multiply 1 into 0, you will get 0. In p by q form, where q is not equal to 0, is called a rational number. Why this name, rational name came? Because it comes from ratio, because 3 by 4. P, 3 and 4 are two integers and 4 is not equal to 0. We can express any number on the number system. Let us take the example of 5. We can express this in 5 by 1, where 5 is an integer, 1 is also an integer. So, similarly minus 4. This can also be expressed minus 4 by 1. So, all those numbers which can be expressed in p by q form, p by q means numerator by denominator. P by q is the form numerator by denominator. Anything which can be expressed in the numerator by denominator, where the denominator cannot be equal to 0, should not be equal to 0, are called as rational number. So, you may ask me, is there anything which cannot be expressed in p by q form? Yes. There are few numbers which cannot be expressed in p by q form. So, those numbers are called irrational number. This cannot be expressed in p by q form. This cannot be expressed. For an example, root 2, root 3, pi. These numbers cannot be expressed in p by q form. But you may ask me, why can't root 2? Root 2 can also be expressed into root 2 by 1. But our condition of a rational number is p and q should be integers and p should be an integer. But here root 2 is not an integer. 1. It is not a rational number. Now let us see the values of root 2, root 3 and pi. You must have studied about different types of decimal numbers. Let us see few decimal number 3.121212 etc. We can write 3.12 bar because 1, 2 is repeating again and again. These are called repeating decimals. You must have seen another decimal like 2, 4, 5, 6. It terminates after 4 decimals. So they are called terminating decimals. These two cases can be represented in rational form, can be represented in p by q form. But there are few numbers which cannot be represented like this. For an example, 1, 2, 8, 6, 2, 7, 8, 3. These numbers are non-repeating and non-terminating. So, those numbers, those decimals which are non-repeating, non-terminating are called irrational numbers. Now we can study. You must have heard about the prime number. What is a prime number? Prime numbers are those numbers which have only 2 factors. For an example, 2, 3, 5, 7. Let us see 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 5, 1 and 7. These are called prime numbers because these numbers have only 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. But there are few numbers, other numbers. Let us take 4. How many factors are there? 1, 2 and 4. They are called as composite numbers. Let us take 6. 1, 2, 3 and 6. And composite numbers have more than 2 factors. We will study about prime factorization, SCF, LCM. These things we will study in the real numbers. So, we have studied, we have revised about all those number systems. The real numbers are those numbers which can be represented, which can be plotted in a number line. That is why these real numbers are called real. Now you may ask me, is there anything which are not real numbers also? Yes, they are known as complex numbers. That you will study in your class 11th. So today we have just revised about the various number systems, the natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, in integers positive integers and negative integers, rational numbers. Rational numbers are those numbers which can be expressed in p by q form. Irrational numbers are those numbers which cannot be expressed in p by q form. All these numbers are known as real numbers. So let us have a quick revision what we have learned till now. Real numbers are divided into rational numbers and irrational numbers. Rational numbers are again divided into positive integers and negative integers. Please remember that 0 is neither a positive integer nor a negative integer. Then we studied about whole numbers which starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Then we studied about the natural numbers or the counting numbers which starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we will study about real numbers in our next class.